Deadline day 2025 was absolute chaos. Liverpool smashed the British transfer record for Alexander Isak. Newcastle eventually losing their star striker in a weird way. Arsenal quietly built a title winning squad, and Villa pulled off maybe a clever last minute steal. Today, we're breaking down all of it. Welcome everybody to the Offside Trap. Today we're breaking down the entire Premier League transfer window, but not for every single club. As you know, it's quite difficult to cover every single club. We're focusing on probably like the big six, plus a little bit of Newcastle and Villa as well, because they're in the European spots. The heavyweights, the challengers, the surprise packages, possibly if you want to call it. Who nailed their business, possibly who failed, and maybe where do they rank from first to worst. Let's get into it. So there is only one place to start, right? And that is Liverpool. So over the summer, they spent nearly, just above over 450 million, possibly, bringing in Florian Wirtz for about 116 million. Again, this is including add-ons. That's how I want to look at things. Ekitike for about 69 million, Kirkes for about 40 million. Then you add on, Frimpong and all these other people that they bought in, and then finally on the deadline day, bringing in Alexander Isak for about 125 million, and almost pulling off the Mark Guehi deal at the last minute as well. So they've gone on to possibly break the transfer record twice this window, and this has been something that is quite unprecedented and unheard of as well. At the same time, you got to also say they've had Harvey Elliott leave to Villa, loan with an obligation for about 35 million. Since they tried to sign Mark Guehi, as I mentioned before, and this is now Arne Slot's Liverpool now. Like, there is no Klopp Liverpool. This is purely Arne Slot's Liverpool. It's more younger, maybe a little bit more technical, built for the future. Are there risks? There is risks in any sort of transfer, in my opinion. But I think they have moved on. Names like Diaz and Darwin Nunez, it doesn't really matter that much. But their defense is a little bit thin, but I think that they will address this sort of in the January window. Even though it is thin, if it clicks, it's gonna be curtains for everybody. That's just my opinion. Let's look at how the noisy neighbors from Manchester are doing. Manchester City, Pep Guardiola, people say that he didn't panic. Maybe he might need to panic. There was no fireworks, there was no Galacticos. They just went on quite under the radar, signing reindeers, Cherky, Donnarumma on the last day. The message is possibly quite clear at this moment in time. Pep probably trusts the team at the moment, so they really don't want to do anything crazy. So, maybe Pep's thinking, why change a winning formula? So maybe that is the biggest flex they have at the moment. So let's see what happens with regards to Manchester City. Only one win in 2 as well, so 1 win in 3 actually. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens in that. We will move on to the red part of Manchester, which is Manchester United, and their biggest issue last season, lack of goals. I think they have addressed that. Brian Mbeumo showing why he was bought into the club by scoring a goal over the weekend. Bruno showing why Bruno is, in that team. They bought in Benjamin Sesko and also Matthias Cunha, who's actually injured. They bought in a goalkeeper as well. They tried to sell Casemiro and Bruno to Saudi early in the window, but none of it actually materialized. A couple of players left on a free. Garnacho currently is at Chelsea, but the deadline day was a little bit quiet compared to what a club like Liverpool was doing. However, in saying that, I think they have done maybe a little bit more than what we expected from them. So the attack definitely does look better, but they do feel a little bit lightweight in the midfield. Could that be their undoing? Let me know in the comments below. We move on to the red side of London, which is Arsenal. I think they have had the smartest window of them all. I think they moved early, they moved well. Victor Gyökeres coming in, Eberechi Eze coming in, Zubamendi coming in, even Madueke coming in for some extra cover. Uh, you know, Thomas Partey leaving had a big hole in that middle. Now they got Hincapié, uh, Mosquera, about 8 solid transfers coming in, and I feel like Arsenal have a very well balanced team ready for the Premier League. Just because they lost to Liverpool over the weekend doesn't mean anything at this moment in time. Yes, they did lose to one of their title rivals, but it's still game week 3. There is a long way to go. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments below. I genuinely think Arsenal look like the real deal this season, and I feel like they are going to do something this season. And I feel like they have had one hell of a window this season as well. So let's see how will they fare going the distance in this title race. Lawan, sorry. Now on to the biggest club in London, or the only club in London, which is Chelsea. Surprise, surprise, another window of a lot of outgoings, a lot of money making. There has been a lot of incomings as well, like João Pedro, Liam Delap, Estavo, Jamie Gittens, Garnacho. But there is so many players leaving. I saw a stat saying that it's the first Premier League team to make over 300 million in sales this season, or in the Premier League history. That's just mad. I feel like that will help a little bit on the finances as well. However, I feel like we have left a little bit light on the defense, as well as a little bit up top as well. So it remains to see whether have like not having a proven 20 goal a season striker be a hindrance for them. Will be interesting to see how Delap comes back as well now that Jackson is also gone. But it's seems like progress, but the same old questions still remain. Do you agree, disagree? As mentioned before, let me know in your comments below. Tottenham are next. Compared to the chaos around them, I feel like they have quietly done some really good business. Xavi Simons, Mohamed Kudus, no deadline day drama a lot. I think Thomas Frank is quite happy with his team at the moment. There is a lot to learn for Frank as well, and I feel like because he's building, it's a little bit of a pragmatic sort of way of working around teams. I feel like this might work really well in their favor. Possibly adding Kolomwani. If I'm not sure whether that happened or not, but I'll take a little bit of a look into that. But at the end of the day, I think Tottenham have done some solid business in this window. Moving on to the other two teams that I mentioned before, which is Newcastle and Villa. Newcastle actually started off with a whirlwind of a start to the transfer window with everybody rejecting them, and then not Isak doing what he did. Anthony Elanga went in for all these sorts of strikers, and then ended up with two really good ones in Walter Mid and Johan Wissa. I feel like the end to the transfer window for Newcastle has been really positive, and I feel like Newcastle's transfer window is looking really, really good at the moment. And also, the money that is coming in from Alexander Isak is going to help them build their team even better, make their team even stronger by buying some more players in the January window for the future as well, because they do have a little bit of an aging midfield and an aging defense as well. So it's ambitious, but it's only only time will tell for us at this moment in time. Let's wait and see. And I feel like they don't have any wins at the moment, and I feel like they need to start putting in some wins together in order for these players to gel a little bit more quicker. But maybe Waldemade or Visa might be that you know player that they were missing. So let's wait and see as to how Newcastle will pan out this season. And finally, to Villa, They've lost, a lot of players this season. They've lost a lot of games this season as well. But they've added Harvey Elliott as well as Jadon Sancho in the transfer window at the last moment. They tried for Asensio, but that didn't materialize. I think he went on to Fenerbahce, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like things are looking quite good for Villa at the moment when it comes to the transfer side of things. Emi Martinez signed a new deal. He was about to go to Manchester United, but Manchester United like decided differently. But Villa needs to start putting in some wins together, just like Newcastle. They are for the money they spend, they cannot be where they are at the moment. So, in my humble opinion, I think Villa there is a lot of work to do. Hopefully, they get all those work done, and Unai Emery can get back to winning ways. So let's look at some of the rankings. In my opinion, I feel like Liverpool should be number one. Ambitious rebuild, couple of statement signings. So I feel like Liverpool will maintain that number one spot when it comes to the transfer window. Arsenal, I think, close second, very very close second. In third, honestly, I might be able to put Tottenham in here. It didn't look inspiring, but it didn't look uninspiring as well. I feel like they've done enough business for them to keep afloat. And in fourth, I would possibly put in Newcastle or Manchester United. But I think me Newcastle would be in fourth, then Manchester United in fifth. I put in Chelsea in sixth at this moment in time, and then and I put Manchester City and then Villa in this rankings for me. So that's purely because I just wanted to. I don't know. It was quite awkward. I feel like Chelsea was quite high up in their rankings, and then suddenly, because of what happened in the last few days, it just gradually went down and down and down. So who do you think had the best transfer window? If you agree with me, please put it in the comments. If you disagree with me, please put it in the comments as well. And as always, like, comments, subscribe to the channel. We hope to do a video every day so that we keep on putting in some constant content out there for you to see and enjoy. If you like it, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know as well. I would love to see. Hope to do a few more live chats as well. So if you like this breakdown, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, as mentioned before. Thanks again for watching the Offside Trap, where we break down the game one trap at a time. Thank you, and see you next time.